good morning, Kwara State, good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to today's newspaper review of Emirate Radio. We are located behind Federal Ministry of Environment, Opudeba with Kwara State, Nigeria. I am Misturah Issa. On today's newspaper review, we are looking at the Daily Post newspaper, the Punch newspaper, and the Guardian newspaper. On headline on Punch newspaper, APC PDP dismissed judgment leak as tribunal rules today. On Daily Post newspaper, Tinubu sacked NNPC Health CEO Kyari, appointed Bayo Ojulari. Still on Daily Post, Akpabio Ododo Bello never planned to kill Natasha, says Kogi government. NIS arrests 51 irregular immigrants in Nasarawa. DSS operatives arrest 2 principal suspects. On Punch newspaper, I would have handled economy better than Tinubu, says Obi. Marketing to remodel election lawyer market over fire outbreak. Reps indict Art Commission over 90 billion naira subsidy. On Punch newspaper, Ebonyi government order 6 commissioners arrest over contract sabotage. On Daily Post newspaper, Tinubu is doing well, says Peter Obi. Governor Sani warns traditional rulers against land grabbing. On Punch newspaper, Senate leader advocates more investment in education. And on Daily Post, I have just been arrested by immigration, says Bob Risky. On Punch newspaper, Ocean APC chieftain urges pension scheme reform. Retired Abia Pamsec plead for payment of entitlements. Let's take a look at the stories making headline on Nigerian newspaper this beautiful morning. On Punch newspaper, APC PDP dismissed judgment leak as tribunal rules today. The All Progressive Congress and the People Democratic Party today dismissed as fake the copies of purported judgments of the Edo State governorship election petitions tribune that flooded the internet yesterday. APC Publicity Director Bala Ibrahim, who is confident that the ruling party will win today's judgment, claimed that the PDP leaked a fake judgment knowing they would lose. However, the PDP Deputy National Youth Leader, Timothy Osadolo, accused the APC of using the leaked fake document to gauge public reaction, while asserting that the tribunal's proceeding from the beginning indicated that the PDP would emerge victorious. On Daily Post newspaper, Tinubu sacked NNPC head CEO Kyari, appointed Bayo Ojulari. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sacked the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC head Kyari. Tinubu also dissolved its board, removing the chairman, Chief Pius Akiyelue. Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, announced this in a statement today. Onanuga said Tinubu invoked his power under Section 59 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 to carry out the sweeping constitution, citing the need for enhanced operational efficiency, restore investor confidence, and a more commercially viable NNPC. On Daily Post, Akpabio Ododo Bello never planned to kill Natasha, says Kogi government. Kogi State Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, has denied allegations that former Governor Yaya Bello, Governor Usman Ododo, and Senate President Godwin Akpabio plotted to assassinate Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Fanwo maintained that there was never any discussion that Natasha should be assassinated. Natasha made the allegation while addressing her supporters during a rousing welcome in an hometown in Okehi local government area of Kogi State yesterday. She said, though the plot was not made public, the Nigerian police force has since been notified. According to her, Akpabio initiated a recall process after allegedly promising the former governor of funds. Still on Daily Post, NIS arrests 51 irregular immigrants in Nasarawa. 51 irregular immigrants have been arrested by the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) at the new Iyanyankuru local government area of Nasarawa State. The irregular migrants, all Malians between the age of 17 and 25, were arrested at their hideout following the credible intelligence. The NIS Public Relations Officer ACI Akisola Akinlabi explained that the 11 of them are females while the 40 others are males. According to him, a preliminary investigation conducted by the service indicated that the migrants may have been victims of trafficking in person and smuggling of migrants, as none of them presented any valid travel documents or residence permit during interrogation. Still on Daily Post, DSS operatives arrest 2 principal suspects. The Department of State Services (DSS) has arrested 2 main suspects allegedly involved in the last week killing of 16 travelers in Uromi, Eson Northeast local government area of Edo State. The Chief Press Secretary (CPS) to the governor, Friday Itua, made this announcement in a statement yesterday. Itua, who said the suspects were arrested in Uromi town following credible intelligence, also reiterated that operatives of various security agencies were hunting for other key suspects involved in the unfortunate incident. According to him, the arrested suspects have been transferred to Abuja for further interrogation and prosecution by the relevant authorities. On Punch newspaper, I would have handled economy better than Tinubu, says Obi. Candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, yesterday accused the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration of being ineffective in implementing economic policies. Obi, a former governor of Anambra State, revealed this in an interview on national TV yesterday and also criticized the decision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to float the naira in the absence of productivity, while also increasing the country debt profile and the cost of debt servicing, which he said was above the budgetary allocation for critical sectors like health and education. Obi asserted that if he were the president, the country would have experienced drastic positive change in 2 years, as he would have injected money into productivity that will lead to a more productive and sustainable economy. Still on Punch newspaper, Makinde to remove the election lawyer market over fire outbreak. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has said his administration will remodel the election lawyer market in Ibadan to avert a recurrence of the fire incident that destroyed goods worth millions of naira in March. The governor also said the state government have provided some sort of palliatives to serve as immediate caution for the victims of the fire incident. The governor stated this yesterday during on-site inspection of the market, noting that it was unfortunate that despite having a fire station, the fire could not be contained. He maintained that the government will work on the market to put in place a proper architecture that could avert future incidents. Still on Punch newspaper, Reps indict Art Commission over 90 billion subsidy. The House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee investigating the National Art Commission of Nigeria over the 2024 art exercise has found the commission guilty of several infractions. Chaired by the member representing GBI Kaita Federal Constituency in Katsina State, Sada Soli, the committee has submitted its report outlining its findings and recommending reforms to prevent similar issues in future art operations. At a plenary on July 14, 2024, presided over by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the House set up the ad hoc committee to probe the operation of NACON and the Federal Capital Territory Administration Muslim Pilgrim Board following a motion sponsored by Mr. Umar Bayu, representing Barutin Kayama Federal Constituency of Kwara State. In May 2024, the Bola Tinubu-led government provided a 9 billion subsidy for the art exercise. This move sparked discontent among many Nigerians, particularly in the light of ongoing hardship exacerbated by the removal of the fuel subsidy. Critics argue that the subsidy should have been directed toward addressing more pressing national issues rather than a religious obligations. Still on Punch newspaper, Ebonyi government orders 6 commissioners arrest over contract sabotage. Governor Francis Nwefu of Ebonyi State has ordered the arrest of 6 commissioners and contractors allegedly sabotaging government projects in the state. Newsmen gathered that the arrest order followed a report indicating commissioner for subsidy working against the government. The affected commissioner include Professor Umaka, the tertiary education, Victor Chukwu, environment, Ifeanyi Ogugu, culture and terrorism, Uchenna Igwe, local government and chieftaincy matter, Dr. Moses Yakume, health, and Felix Iboke, project monitoring. Also ordered for arrest was the chairman of Afipo local government area, Mr. Timothy Nwachi. The governor's team measure come after a series of previous disciplinary actions, highlighting its resolve to maintain integrity within the state leadership. On Daily Post newspaper, Tinubu is doing well. Peter Obi mocks current administration. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, has sarcastically commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. According to Obi, Tinubu is doing well in fulfilling the promises he made to Nigerians during his campaign, of which one of them was following the footsteps of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari administration, whose government has been widely described as clueless and lacking direction. Tinubu had during his campaign promised he would begin from where his predecessors stopped, and life has not been easy for the citizens under the years of All Progressive Congress (APC), especially in times having food on their table. Obi was on a national TV yesterday. He said that the president has not failed his promises to his people. Still on Daily Post newspaper, Governor Sani warned traditional rulers against land grabbing. Governor Oban Sani of Kaduna State has warned traditional rulers in the state to desist from illegal encroachment and grabbing of land in their domain. Speaking during this year Eid al-Fitr Salah homage, Gaiswan Salah at the Emir of Zabza Palace in Zaria, the governor explained that the state government has been receiving complaints of illegal grabbing of land by village and World Health. According to him, all lands belong to the government, hence the need to observe due process of acquiring it from relevant authorities in the interest of peace and stability. The governor, represented by Alhaji Mukhtar Shehu Jaman Zozo, special advisor on traditional affairs, the governor also urged traditional leaders to maintain the existing peacefully atmosphere fulfilling in their domain and the state as a whole. The governor tasked for farmers to go back to their farms as the security situation has improved in the state. Alright, on Punch newspaper, Senate leader advocates more investment in education. The leader of the Senate, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, has called on government at all levels, corporate organizations, and philanthropists to recommit to investing more meaningfully in the education sector. He made this call after receiving an honorary doctorate during the 29th convocation of Ekiti State University held in Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State over the weekend. In his address, Bamidele highlighted how developed and emerging nations in Asia, Europe, and North America have used education as a powerful tool for socio-economic transformation. He emphasized that for Nigeria to achieve its development goals, more strategic investment in education is essential. He pointed out that education has been a critical tool for nationals worldwide in their path to development. And on Daily Post, I've just been arrested by immigration, Bobrisky cries out as he returned to Nigeria. Controversial Nigerian cross-dresser and socialite Bobrisky has been arrested by the Nigerian Immigration Authorities. Bobrisky was reportedly arrested yesterday, April 4, 2025, upon his return to Nigeria. Alarming the public about the development, Bobrisky posted on his Instagram story saying he had just been arrested without being informed of his offense. On Punch newspaper, Osun APC chieftain urges pension scheme reform. The chieftain of the All Progressive Congress in Osun State, Mr. Olatunbosun Oyintiloye, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to step in and alleviate the stress faced by retirees on the contributory pension scheme before they receive their retirement benefits. Oyintiloye, in a statement obtained in Osogbo yesterday, identified delay or non-payment of pension, inadequate funding, and corruption within the pension scheme as some of the factors causing hardship and financial stress for the pensioners. The ex-lawmaker recalled that since 2024, when the federal government enacted the Pension Reform Act, which introduced the contributory pension scheme, pension had not been treated fairly. He said many senior citizens in the country were often paid between 25 and 50% of the lump sum of retirement, while many did not even get paid at all many years after retirement. Still on Punch newspaper, retired Abia Pamsec plead for permanent payment of entitlements. Permanent Secretary, who were firstly retired 2 years ago in Abia State by the Equipment Administration, have cried out to the governor of the state, Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, to come to their aid over their unpaid entitlement. The permanent secretary made the appeal after a meeting with the state head of service, Mr. Benson Ojekiri, in Umuahia, the state capital. Spokesperson of the permanent secretary and a former permanent secretary of the government house, Umuahia, Mr. Nwakachukwu Aguma, told Southeast Newsmen that they came to meet with the HOS over their present plight occasioned by their unpaid entitlement and to bring it to the attention of the state governor for him to kindly pay them their unpaid entitlement, which included several allowances, furniture allowances, and gratuity. Mr. Ogome said there were about 30 permanent secretaries who were retired in 2023 without benefits, and since then to date, nothing has been paid to them, even as the economy bites high. Still on Punch newspaper, police intensify search for last suspect in LASU graduate killing. The Lagos State Police Command on Monday said it had intensified in search for Teniola Ajisomo, who is the remaining suspect linked to the murder of a 28-year-old graduate of Lagos State University, Adedamola Ogunbode. The Lagos State Police Command on March 12th exhumed the body of the late Ogunbode from a shallow grave behind the last offense in its Ojo campus. Newsmen gathered that the deceased, a political science education graduate, had been missing since January 16th. Among those arrested during police investigation were Sunday Wekpetoji, a pastor who allegedly received 70,000 from the victim account, and Sheriff Adebayo, a church member, accused of also receiving 300,000. Also, Omolawa Ajisomo, who allegedly helped her children, Tenola and Olaoluwa Ajisomo, escaped to Cotonou, Benin Republic, after each received 300 from the victim account, was arrested too. Meanwhile, Olaoluwa was arrested in the Alakoko area of the state before leading the police to the shallow grave. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, fuel to sell 750 per litre before December, says NIPSS. The product was National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies (NIPSS) has said that with Dangote refinery and order coming on board, Nigeria should expect a crash in the price of premium motor spirits, better known as petrol. The product was sold for less than 200 per litre before the removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It currently sells for around 930 per litre depending on the area. However, the Director General of NIPSS, Ayo Omotayo, says better days are ahead for the country. He revealed that with the removal of the fuel subsidy, that they have Dangote refinery coming on and the other refineries. That's end the newspaper review on Emirate Radio. Join us tomorrow for another episode. I am Misturah Issa. Thanks for listening.